How's it going, everybody? It's PJ here, and I want to thank you and welcome you to yet another video. Not going to beat around the bush. For this one, Dehancer actually reached out to me and asked if I could provide an honest review of their film emulation third-party plugin. Now, me being a huge fan of the film look because it provides nostalgia and it's got that indie look, happily said yes. Now, I'm going to try to make this review as simple as possible. I actually just got back from Switzerland. I was on a trip with Colder Creative, which I'll make a completely separate video about. But now I was thinking to myself, I have some fresh new clips of myself, Sam Colder, and some new friends. What a perfect opportunity to test out Dehancer. I've actually been trying to achieve the film look for some time now. I've used a lot of DaVinci's native tools. I've also used another plugin called Look Designer. So mentally, I was kind of comparing my experience to my past attempts. The main things that I was looking for is one, is it easy or is it intuitive? Two, how quickly can I achieve the film look? And three, is it flexible? In other words, is it gonna look like everybody else's film looks who uses Dehancer, or do I have the customizability to kind of make it my own? Off the bat, I'm gonna say I was pretty impressed. You simply just drag the Dehancer onto a node, and from there you can very easily find your camera. It has a lot of different camera profiles on there, but what it allows you to do is then Dehancer uses the correct color science to add film emulation to that clip. So I use the A7S III, and I was able to pull that up pretty quickly. From there, I noticed that it by default adds the Kodak Vision 3 250D, but when you click on that drop down menu, then you get to see over 60 film profiles that are in there for Dehancer. Now, what does that mean to you? Well, it means that after you pick your film profile and then you go and pick your print look, that's basically it. Within just a couple of clicks, you're able to produce that film look. So yeah, it's pretty damn quick the way you can do that, and the quality of it looks great. I tested it out with a whole bunch of different profiles, and I couldn't even pick a favorite. There was so many good looking ones, and they all kind of gave their own feel and vibe to the clips. So now you're probably asking the same question that I was asking myself. You know, this is great, just a couple of clicks to get the film look, but what are all these other options? Is that going to get overwhelming? And I'll be honest, at first, it took me a little while to process everything inside Dehancer. But after I took a little bit of time, because there is a little bit of learning curve to understand everything or what each of the sections does, or at least the main things, then yeah, it's actually not too complicated. This is definitely not a tutorial, but I do want to be helpful, and so here is a quick breakdown of some of the main things that I think would be interesting and would give you a head start if you ever do end up trying Dehancer. Now, at the very top, these exposure controls are simply the technical ones. So making things brighter or darker, and how it relates to film is it just defines how rich you want it to be. Now, right under that in the film section, right where you're choosing your film profile, there's actually a push-pull lever. And from there, that dial actually lets you mimic how underexposed and overexposed you want the film to appear. So it does give you flexibility on the look that you're going for. Now, the film developer and the film compression sections just give you additional tools to continue to tweak things to get to that look that you're going for. I would say it centers more around playing around with the colors. Quick tidbit on the film compression though, if you do have a camera with low dynamic range, this does help you roll off those highlights in a cleaner fashion, so the footage does end up looking better. All right, speed round. So we got film grain, lots of different choices of grain within Dehancer, and of course, what is film without that nice vintage look of grain? Up next, halation. You know that nice orange glow that you see in some older clips? Yeah, that's halation. Similar to that, you have bloom, and that adds soft glow to your bright spots. Also, you have gate weave, and that mimics the film jitter that you see in natural film sometimes. And finally, overscans, which is my favorite section because they give you a lot of different frames to put over your clips to complete that film look that you're going for. So yeah, Dehancer offers flexibility. But what does that mean to me? Well, some of the pros to that are that now I can actually have that film look, but make it as subtle or as non-subtle as I want. So I have that control to even push a clip to its limits if that's the look that I'm going for, or take it down just as easily. And also, I've recently just stopped using LUTs altogether. There's no such thing as a LUT that is one size fits for all clips. So I like tools like Dehancer that give you the granular customizability of each little component, because that means that I can still shot match easily. I can move and copy and paste from one to another and just be able to shift some things around to adapt it to that clip. But also, the clips look good at the end, and ultimately that is the result that I'm looking for. Bonus pro, just like how people use LUTs to unify a lot of different layers together by just putting that one look on top, the same can be done with Dehancer, except now you have more control and customizability, so you can make them blend better. I know, I've been going on and on about all the pros, so you're probably yelling at your screen saying, PJ, what are the cons? And I'll be straightforward with you. There are two big cons about Dehancer. Now, number one, which is the bigger one, is that it's $449 for a lifetime subscription. I'm gonna let you take that in for a second. You good? You good now? Wait, another second? Okay, don't worry, take your time. Yeah, that's a large chunk of change, and that's for a Dehancer Pro. Now, there is a Dehancer Lite, which is $199, and then there is the Dehancer iOS app, which does have presets. It has a lot of film emulators and halation, film grain, a lot of the cool stuff like that. For your phone, I would suggest testing it out. I did that as well. It's pretty cool. I'm personally not a mobile content creator, so I can't really speak on too much about that, but definitely give it a shot. It's about $15 a month if I remember correctly. You're probably scratching your head thinking, is that really worth it? And to that I'll say it is a very premium product. The quality is there. I think the price is warranted. It's something you have to decide if you really need, but it's still cheaper than using actual film if you know anything about that. 1 second, there we go. All right, yeah, it's getting dark out there. I've been playing around with Dehancer for a little while. But yeah, the other big con is that it is power intensive. So if you have a machine that's not, doesn't have good processing power, or doesn't have like an M1 chip or something of high quality, then it will slow you down quite a bit. I personally am not fully spec'd out, but I did try to push it to its limits, and it did slow down its playback. So if you are not a big fan of that on the color grading process, and you don't want to upgrade your machine, definitely something to keep in mind. All right, I'm getting hungry. Let's do final conclusions. Should you or should you not get Dehancer? I'll start off with people that shouldn't get it. So if you are very early on in your color grading / editing career, then I probably would say that you should focus on other things first. This is not a need to have. I think it's something that's really cool to have, but definitely use that bandwidth to learn other basics of editing and color grading. Now, if you also have DaVinci and are perfectly fine with the native tools that you have now, and I do believe that DaVinci also has a film look feature that'll be coming out. I think it's in beta right now. Then yeah, I don't think you need it. Some of the more obvious ones are if you don't even know if you like the film look yet. You have seen it before and you're interested in it, but you don't know if that really is your aesthetic or something that you would do long term. Then try it out with other tools first. I definitely don't suggest buying something that is that much money if you don't know if you're gonna like it. And two, if you don't have the money for it, then I'd say definitely put this as something later down the line. Buy a better lens, upgrade your camera, perhaps invest in some courses to better your skills. I say the money is much better well spent on some of the basics first before you start upgrading the final look and your final aesthetic of things. If you mostly or only do commercial and corporate work, then I don't think the film look really applies as much there. I think you should definitely be intentional on the looks that you're going for. So I don't know if the film look would typically work there. Now for the people that I think that should get it. To start off, if you are in that place where you've been trying to achieve that film emulation look, but you have Adobe Premiere or you have Final Cut and the tools in there are just not cutting it, then yeah, I think Dehancer would be able to get you exactly to where you need to get. If you're also fascinated like me in color grading and film and all the different aspects of it, then yes, I do think this would be a really cool tool because it provides more information on how things work and how things look. Lastly, on the other side of the coin, from a point that I made earlier, if this is your aesthetic, if you have customers or clients that are constantly asking for this look, or if you think that being able to produce this look well will benefit your business or be able to increase your clientele, then absolutely, by all means, get Dehancer, because one project in itself, or making revenue from one project, like a $500 project, will pay for Dehancer for a lifetime. So you really just got to think if it is beneficial to you. And I guess to throw on there, if you have the money and you're loaded and you're just like, yeah, why not? Then yeah, definitely get it. Well, that's it. Thank you so much for sticking around. I hope this was educational. I wanted it to be simple, but I also wanted it to be detailed. And at the end of the day, Dehancer, it was easy to use, it was quick to achieve the film look, and it was very flexible. So those are all the main things that I was looking for. But if you were looking for something else, then please leave it in the comments. Dehancer, thank you so much for providing it for me so that I could test it out and provide an honest review. I hope that that is what you were looking for. Damn, dude, it is dark and I am hungry. So, catch y'all.